huge blessing is released in the Spirit on September 17. Archangel Michael has been guarding a $1 million blessing assigned to you. But you've ignored every sign. You have 2 minutes left before it's redirected away. Up and now. He that hath an ear, let him hear, for this is no ordinary day, and this is no ordinary word. Heaven has marked September 17 as a divine interruption, a date carved into the scrolls of destiny. It is not a coincidence you are hearing this now. It is not by chance your spirit feels the pull, the pause, the undeniable weight in the air. This is an appointed moment, a holy intersection, where time and eternity are touching, where heaven is releasing something so immense, so radically life-altering, that your life will never recover from the magnitude of this encounter. Archangel Michael, the captain of heavenly hosts, has been stationed, not just as a messenger, but as a guardian of a vault sealed with your name. Inside that vault is what many have begged for, fasted for, cried for, and yet it was assigned to you. Not because you earned it, not because you worked harder, but because heaven saw something in you that men overlooked. The $1 million blessing, both spiritual and material, has been held under lock and key, waiting for the moment your obedience would authorize its release. But now, the winds are shifting. There is a countdown in the Spirit. A 2-minute window has opened. That blessing, yes, that blessing, is now trembling between two destinies. Either it lands in your hands, or it will be rerouted into another's. You've ignored the signs. You've dismissed the dreams. You've silenced the whispers. But mercy speaks louder than your delay. This message is not for everyone. This is not mass appeal. This is surgical, directed to the chosen, not the crowd. The ones who felt divine agitation, spiritual unrest, and the nagging feeling that something huge is near, yet hidden. This is your warning. This is your window. This is the sound of heaven screaming before the door slams shut. So now be still. Close every other voice. Silence every other screen. The next few minutes are not about words. They are about surrender. About sensitivity. About spiritual posture. Because what you do next will either activate a miracle or invite regret. Heaven is speaking. Will you obey? Type I receive IT in the comments if this resonates. Blessing code 777 is now covering your name. Within the next 2 minutes, the realm of eternity bends toward your name. This is not poetic imagery. This is a divine interception, a sacred emergency. Heaven has dispatched this message with urgency, and I, Archangel Michael, am summoned once again as watchman over your blessing. Your ears were not meant to hear this by accident. Your soul was not stirred randomly. And your time has not expired, but it is dangerously close. A 7-figure blessing, yes, a $1 million assignment, has been held in the heavenly vault, marked with your spirit's signature. This is not metaphor. This is not mere inspiration. This is a prophetic dispatch from the throne room, and the courts of heaven have released it with trembling urgency. It has been guarded with sword and flame, not because it is fragile, but because it is highly contested. You have already been given signs. The delayed opportunities. The strange dreams. The random moments where time paused and your spirit shivered. But instead of investigating the whispers, You doubted. You overanalyzed. You hesitated. And now, the final 2 minutes of this spiritual countdown have been announced in the realm of light. This is not fear. This is divine mercy refusing to let you miss it again. Do not look around. Do not ask who else this word is for. Do not wait to feel ready. This is for you. Heaven's timing is now pressing against your earthly delay. You stand at the interruption point, the crossroad where destinies are either activated or aborted. And I speak now with the authority given to me. This is not a mass message. This is a surgical strike from heaven, aimed directly at the soul who has the ears to hear. Others may listen, but only you will respond. Others may comment, but only you will unlock it. The Lord has not forgotten you. The heavens have not withheld from you. But you must understand, delay is dangerous. Every time you doubted, the enemy rejoiced. Every time you ignored the spiritual nudge, a principality prepared to steal what was rightfully yours. But not this time. Not today. Not while the scroll of your assignment still hangs open. Archangel Michael does not guard what is empty. I am not dispatched for ordinary announcements. I stand before this sacred moment with my sword drawn, not in warning, but in warfare. Because what is coming to you is so great, so weighty, so generational, that entire bloodlines will shift based on your obedience. You feel the weight now. Let it sink into your bones. You have 2 minutes before the blessing is redirected. But even now, if your spirit leans in, if your heart bows low, if your mind silences the chaos, the blessing will not bypass you. It will locate you. It will wrap around you. It will fall like fire and settle like peace. You are not too late. You are just in time. But you must choose. Right now. Not with your words, but with your alignment. Not with your emotions, but with your posture. Lift your hands. Close your eyes. Speak nothing. Just listen. Listen for the voice behind the voice. The sound inside the silence. The stirring of wings in the spirit. This is holy. This is heavenly. This is now. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange pull. That ache in your spirit you couldn't name. That quiet battle between belief and doubt. That unseen pressure in the air around you. It's not your imagination. It's not anxiety. It is the weight of the spiritual realm, colliding with your atmosphere. Something holy has been near you, and it has not gone unnoticed. Whispers have followed you. Whispers not just in the spirit, but among men. There are those who've seen glimpses of what is about to land in your life, though they don't understand it fully. They don't know the exact shape, they don't know the exact hour, but they've smelled the rain. They've sensed the shift. And some of them are watching with expectation, not to celebrate, but to interfere. There have been watchers, observers. I'm not speaking of angels. I speak now of jealous eyes, distracting voices, familiar spirits. They saw the mark on you long before you did. They sensed the oil, the $1 million assignment, hovering. But they could not touch it. They could not claim it. Unless you gave it up. Unless you let it slip through your fingers. You felt the confusion. One day, peace. The next, chaos. One day, clarity. The next, emotional sabotage. It is not a coincidence. This is spiritual surveillance. The enemy has been running distraction campaigns around you, not because he has power over your future, but because he's desperate to keep you distracted in the present. If you miss the moment, the blessing leaves. If you delay your response, the miracle moves. If you do not discern the divine weight of what's hovering now, it will redirect. You were not born to be common, and the realm of darkness knows it. That's why the warfare hath been so quiet, so subtle, so emotional. Because if it were loud, you would have rebuked it. But this has been disguised in your relationships, in your doubts, in your procrastination, in the pressure to be small when heaven called you to be massive. But even now, hear this: the watchers cannot intercept what is sealed. And heaven has sealed this $1 million blessing with your spirit's fingerprint. They may watch, but they cannot open it. They may dock, but they cannot alter it. Unless you give it up in fear. Unless you walk away in delay. Unless you remain passive in a prophetic moment. There is a jealousy that surrounds the favored. There is a loneliness that covers the chosen. And there is a spiritual hush right before the heavens release the rain. You are in that hush now. They can sense it. The ones who have mocked you. The ones who have betrayed you. The ones who secretly studied you, imitated you, followed you without ever showing their face. They can feel the tension in the spirit. They know something is coming to you, but they don't know how big it is. Let me say it clearly. They sense your blessing, but they cannot touch it unless you let it slip away. You are in a sacred zone. Do not talk carelessly. Do not move recklessly. Do not answer just anyone. This is a holy moment. You are standing in the space between release and reroute, and the eyes of heaven are upon you. The angels have taken formation. I, Archangel Michael, have unsheathed my sword. The question is not if the blessing is real. The question is, will you protect what is already yours? I protect what's mine in the comments. Blessing code 3366 is activating protection over your blessing. You are not hearing this by chance. Heaven is trying to reach more souls just like you. If this prophetic word is confirming what you already sensed in your spirit, then this is your invitation to help spread the word and release breakthrough to thousands more. When you give through super thanks, membership, or our PayPal link in the video description, you're not supporting a platform. You're sowing into divine instruction. The oil is flowing, the harvest is ripe, and the window is open. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not a seed of charity. This is a key of obedience. If God is stirring you, don't delay. Click the support options now and let your giving become a prophetic response that unlocks new realms of blessing. Heaven multiplies what is sown in faith. Obey quickly. So boldly. Walk blessed. Give now and watch the heavens respond. This is not just about money. This is not just about breakthrough. This is about warfare in the heavens over what has your name on it. The conflict you've been feeling, the delays you couldn't explain, the weight pressing against your chest late in the midnight hours. These were not coincidences. These were not natural frustrations. This is spiritual war, And what is at stake is no less than a divine inheritance that shifts generations. What you are sensing is the collision between the celestial and the carnal, the eternal and the earthly. And Archangel Michael has been in position, sword drawn, guarding the gate of your destiny from premature interference. I speak now not as a messenger of inspiration, but as a heavenly commander who has stood in the realm where angels war and destinies hang in balance. You have to understand, the reason it's been so intense is because this is not about one answered prayer. It is about a $1 million spiritual mantle, divinely assigned, dangerously powerful, and specifically marked for you. And with that mantle comes warfare, because hell does not waste its fire on the unassigned. The very fact that you're hearing this message proves you're a threat. You were targeted, not because you are weak, but because you're anointed, because your obedience is expensive, because your alignment is a weapon that breaks ancient chains. There are things happening right now above your head, transactions in the spirit realm, resistance from principalities, interference from forces that understand just how dangerous your breakthrough would be to the darkness they serve. And yet, they cannot stop it. Why? Because it has been guarded. Because I have stood between your promise and their schemes. But there's one thing I cannot do. I cannot obey for you. The victory has been secured in the heavens, but it is your obedience that pulls it down into manifestation. This is why the distractions have come. This is why the fog has settled over your mind. This is why your spirit hath been under such strange heaviness, because you're not fighting flesh. You're wrestling against spiritual forces that would rather see your blessing redirected than received. But what they do not understand is that this is your time, and though they have tried, they cannot override divine protection. Hear me, protection is not the absence of pressure. Protection is the presence of God's will being enforced even in hostile territory. And it is I, Archangel Michael, who has stood in battle formation over this exact moment. Not just to preserve your blessing, but to keep it from being polluted, from being touched prematurely, from falling into hands that would exploit it instead of steward it. But now, the battlefield has moved. The war is no longer just in the heavens. The final portion of this warfare has descended to your doorstep. It is now in your discernment, in your decisions, in your posture. Will you stay alert? Will you remain aligned? Will you obey the instruction without needing confirmation from the crowd? Heaven is waiting to release what I've been guarding. But I cannot deliver it to a distracted vessel. I cannot release it to someone still asking for more signs when the gate is already open. This $1 million blessing is not just money. It is assignment. It is wealth tied to purpose. It is strategy, territory, and influence, wrapped in financial breakthrough. But it must be received through obedience, not emotion. Through stillness, not striving. Through faith, not fear. Chosen one, you are in the final phase of this war. But take heart. If you respond now, in full surrender, nothing can stop what is already written. Type "I am ready for warfare" victory in the comments if this is for you. Blessing code 4444 is confirming divine defense and favor. The countdown has not stopped. The clock in the spirit is still ticking. And though you may not hear the seconds fall, heaven does. Every moment of hesitation, every second of delay, every breath you waste wondering whether this word is truly for you, the blessing teeters on the edge of being routed. This is not fear-mongering. This is not manipulation. This is prophetic urgency, and it is being spoken now to intercept the final stage of sabotage. The window is narrow, and the transfer is ready. The treasury of heaven hath been unlocked. The vault is open, and the blessing is trembling on the scale, waiting to fall, either to your hands or into the hands of another. This is the part most ignore. This is the part most dismiss, the fact that blessings have expiration points, moments when the door is open, and if not entered, it closes. And when it closes, it doesn't just pause and pivots. It reassigns. The angels assigned to deliver it are not idle. They are under command. And if they do not find obedience, they will search for the next available vessel. This is the way of spiritual law. Heaven does not waste oil. Heaven does not pour into cracked vessels unwilling to be sealed. And your delay is becoming dangerous. The unseen realm is watching. Right now. Principalities are positioning. Angels are shifting. And all eyes are on September 17, because that date is more than a number. It is a portal, a spiritual appointment, a divine tipping point in your life. The books have been opened. The page is waiting for your obedience to write the next sentence. And if nothing moves on your part, the sentence will remain unfinished, and the blessing will move on. This is your moment to interrupt the interruption. The enemy has already tried to intercept this blessing through confusion, distraction, emotional fatigue, and spiritual dullness. You've had moments recently where you felt numb, didn't you? Like your faith was functioning but not firing. Like your prayers were spoken but didn't pierce. That was not a coincidence. It was spiritual interference designed to keep you from responding to this very message, from understanding that within 2 minutes, something is either going to be unlocked or lost. The adversary does not want you to take this seriously. He wants you to laugh it off, scroll past, say maybe later, or this is for someone else. Because he knows that a blessing delayed long enough becomes a blessing redirected. What's hovering is not light. It is weighty. It is a generational reversal. It is a $1 million blessing in spiritual and material value. It is business, influence, territory, deliverance, ideas, blueprints, healing, restoration, and divine authority. But it must be received in time. And the time is now. I speak as one sent, not in emotion, but in enforcement. The orders were given from the throne, and I have been dispatched to watch over the release. But I cannot deliver to silence. I cannot guard what you will not claim. I cannot keep covering what you will not call yours. You must respond. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when the circumstances feel right. Now. In this moment. Because if you wait 2 more minutes, the current will shift. The river will turn. The angelic esprit will pivot. And what was once headed your direction will begin to reroute. Do not let delay rob you of divine wealth. Do not let fear silence your prophetic yes. The sky is rumbling. The angels are waiting. The scroll is still open. But Maverlo. Type I refuse to miss IT in the comments. Blessing code 1717 is intercepting the route and holding your miracle in place. Now, still yourself. Still your soul. Let every anxious voice be silenced. Let every thought that screams I'm too late be cast down. You are not late. You are on the edge. And at the edge, Stillness becomes your weapon. Obedience becomes your shield. Silence becomes your sword. The enemy thrives in noise, in distraction, in emotional chaos. But heaven moves in stillness. The throne room does not tremble in panic. It waits in confidence. And right now, the Spirit of the living God is commanding you to be still, be alert, and obey quickly. You must move differently now. You must separate yourself from the current of confusion, from the familiar chaos that kept you locked out of your blessing before. The distractions that stole your previous breakthroughs cannot follow you into this one. This is the part where you separate, where you shut the door, not just to your room, but to the realm of opinions, doubts, and digital warfare. The spiritual realm is alive with movement right now. And heaven is whispering, "Don't say a word unless I've spoken it." There is a time to declare, and there is a time to withdraw and listen. Right now, you must withdraw, not in fear, not in defeat, but in divine strategy. The enemy expects you to panic. He expects you to react emotionally. But what he cannot defeat is a child of God who responds in quiet confidence, in prophetic stillness, in strategic silence. Because heaven fights when you do not speak in fear. I, Archangel Michael, have not left my post. I remain at the gate of your destiny. I have stood between you and the attack. I have fought for your name to be preserved. I have held back forces that would have swallowed your calling whole. But my assignment to guard is not enough. You must stand in obedience. The release is not activated by emotion. It is triggered by alignment. This moment is not about working harder. It is about surrendering quicker. You don't need to prove your worth. You need to posture your heart. That is where the unlocking happens. Some of you have been speaking too much, explaining yourself, defending yourself, begging for clarity. But in the spirit realm, words that are not commissioned by God delay assignments. Right now, it's not about how much you say. It's about what you hear. The instruction is clear. Withdraw. Listen. Obey quickly. That is the door. That is the code. That is the divine combination that unlocks the guarded vault. Heaven is not asking for your opinion. Heaven is waiting for your obedience. You cannot receive a high-level inheritance with a casual attitude. You cannot walk in generational wealth while still consulting with voices that were never invited into your destiny. You are being called out of the crowd and into the quiet, because what's coming to you is too holy for public preview. The blessing is sacred, and sacred things are not shouted. They are whispered in secret to those who wait in stillness. Do not fear the silence. The silence is not rejection. It is preparation. It is a sacred signal that something is forming in the invisible, something that can only be delivered to a spirit that knows how to remain still in a storm. The release is being weighed. The scroll is being signed. But heaven is watching your response. And only those who respond in quiet obedience will receive what is too powerful for the hands of the careless. The angels are stationed. The covering is already present. The blessing is hovering. But your response must match the holiness of this moment. Withdraw now. Listen. The Lord is speaking. And when He speaks, everything shifts. Type "I will be still" and listen in the comments. Blessing code 5511 is covering your mind and silencing every storm. Lift your head, chosen one. Straighten your shoulders. Let your spirit rise from the posture of delay into the mantle of dominion. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. What you've walked through was not meant to break you, it was meant to awaken you. And now, the fire that once tormented your heart is becoming the very fire that refines your crown. You are not who they thought you were. Heaven has upgraded you, and it is time for you to walk like it, speak like it, and respond like it. You were not overlooked. You were hidden. Hidden by design. Hidden beneath the weight of warfare so that the oil on your life could press deeper, so the authority on your voice could sharpen, so the wings of your spirit could stretch wide enough to soar. You have survived seasons where others lost their minds, lost their faith, lost their hope, and yet here you are, still believing, still breathing, still positioned for the blessing. That is not weakness. That is strength. That is evidence of divine preservation. This is your moment to step out of the ashes. The past no longer has permission to define you. The delay you experienced was not denial. It was the training ground. You've been tested in silence. You've been forged in fire. And now, heaven is declaring, rise. The time is now. You are authorized. The very thing you thought disqualified you is the very proof that you're ready. The enemy's attack was actually the announcement of your promotion. See yourself as heaven sees you. You are not a beggar. You are not someone hoping to be chosen. You are already chosen. You are already called. And the $1 million blessing that has been guarded on your behalf is not just wealth. It is weight. It is strategy. It is influence. It is the unlocking of doors that have never opened for your bloodline before. You are not being called to participate in cycles, you are being called to break them. Heaven has not only protected your blessing, heaven has been preparing you to carry it. You were not ready before. That's why it didn't fall. But now your posture has shifted. Now your discernment has matured. Now your obedience has been tested. And heaven has determined that you are no longer beneath the promise. You are now walking in alignment with it. Let the world watch. Let the doubters stare. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the anointing God has placed on your life. You were not elevated by public opinion. You were elevated by divine instruction. And where God promotes, no demon can reverse. The $1 million blessing that has been held is not just for comfort. It is for calling. It is to build, to restore, to fund the mission, to release the oppressed, to shift atmospheres. You are a walking portal of breakthrough, and heaven is trusting you to steward it with wisdom and fire. See yourself ascending. See the wings of the Spirit carrying you higher. See yourself stepping through gates of gold, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. The elevation is already taking place in the realm of the Spirit. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Your identity is being honored in realms you haven't even seen. And the command has gone forth. The blessing must locate you now. From this moment on, stop apologizing for the weight you carry. Stop playing small to make others comfortable. Heaven has increased you, and now you must rise accordingly. The delay is over. The fire has forged you. The gates are open. You are stepping into wealth, into wisdom, into wonders. Type I receive my upgrade in the comments. Blessing code 1010 is igniting the fire of elevation within you. Now hear the truth that was hidden in plain sight. This wasn't just a delay. It was a divine test. You weren't being punished. You were being proven. Heaven wasn't withholding to tease you. Heaven was watching to see if you could recognize the sound of a door before it opened. Because true favor doesn't fall on the loud. It lands on the discerning. The $1 million blessing that has hovered in the spirit was not just a gift. It was a prophetic measurement, a tool to reveal the maturity of your spirit. God wanted to know, will you move when there's no applause? Will you obey when there's no crowd cheering? Will you listen when it feels like silence surrounds you? You've been walking through a revelation wrapped in mystery. Every delay, every battle, every moment of almost giving up, it was heaven's way of pulling back the veil to see if you truly trusted the giver or just the gift. And now, the mystery is being revealed. This is not just about money. This is about mantle, about movement, about mission. The blessing you are about to receive is part of a divine unlocking, not just for your house, but for your bloodline, your community, your region. You've been chosen to host what others mishandled, to carry what others dropped, to steward what others squandered. That's why it's been so hard, because the cost is high. But now, the vault is open. Heaven's treasury has released the scroll. And what has been guarded, hidden, protected, and postponed is now falling into position. The trial had a purpose. The pressure had a plan. And this moment is the reward. This is your unlocking. This is your release. The heavens have verified your identity. The spirit realm has confirmed your readiness. The time of hiding is over. The season of wondering is closed. You now step into prophetic certainty. And with it comes the blessing that has your name etched in eternity. The $1 million breakthrough is not symbolic. It is specific. It is exact. It is wealth connected to work, resources connected to revelation, strategy backed by spiritual authority. You are not just being blessed to escape lack. You are being blessed to become a gate, a portal, a provider, a builder of altars in the earth. Heaven has trusted you with this because heaven saw your heart, your resilience, your surrender, even when you didn't feel worthy, even when you doubted if you were chosen. But God never doubted. The angels never stopped guarding it. And I, Archangel Michael, have been stationed at the gates of this release, not to keep it from you, but to keep it for you. And now, the fire that once refined you is about to fund you. The war that once wounded you is now about to elevate you. What you thought was the end was only the testing phase of your prophetic assignment. This isn't just a new season. This is a divine transaction. A spiritual inheritance is crossing realms into your reality. The line has been drawn. The delay has lifted. The atmosphere has shifted. And you are now standing inside the unlocking moment. No longer guessing. No longer hoping. You are now receiving. Heaven knows your name. The scroll was always about you. And now, the door opens. Type "I am unlocked" in the comments if you receive this prophetic revelation. Blessing code 8888 is now releasing divine inheritance. If this word has pierced your spirit, it's because heaven chose you to hear it. This isn't entertainment. This is equipping. When you give through super thanks, join as a channel member, or so through the PayPal link in the video description. You are fueling the fire of revelation that brings alignment, clarity, and transformation to thousands of other lives. The Lord said, He gives seed to the sower. This is your moment to be that sower, not just for yourself, but for the next soul about to unlock their scroll. Your giving becomes a prophetic act, an echo of obedience that heaven rewards openly. The oil flows where honor is sown. The rivers open when faith is released. The mantle is multiplying. Help us deliver it. Don't delay. Sow boldly. Release obedience and expect overflow. The blessing multiplies where the word is honored. It's time. Not in theory. Not in the abstract. Not next month. Now. This is the moment that was written into your timeline before you took your first breath. This is not just about knowing. This is about activating. Destiny is not passive. It's not polite. It's not gentle with delays. Destiny is violent with anything that dares to keep it waiting. And heaven is speaking now with urgency, with clarity, with fire. You must move. You must speak. You must act. The $1 million blessing is not waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your permission. God has already signed the release. The scroll has already been unsealed. The angels are already positioned. The Spirit has already confirmed it. But nothing moves until you say yes. Not a timid yes. Not a half-hearted yes. Not a someday yes. But a radical, fearless, immediate yes. Because heaven doesn't respond to hesitation. Heaven responds to alignment. You have been circling this mountain long enough. You've prayed for breakthrough, and now it's staring at you. But it requires a decision. Not tomorrow. Not once you get more confirmation. The confirmation is this word. The confirmation is this timing. The confirmation is the fire rising in your spirit right now that says, this is for me. That's not emotion. That's not manipulation. That's divine stirring. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to calculate the risk. You don't have to ask anyone else for their opinion. Heaven is waiting for your yes. And the moment you give it, fully, boldly, and completely, the gates will open. The release will descend. The blessing will find you. Because destiny does not delay when it meets obedience. Do not let logic talk you out of what the Spirit is trying to deliver. Do not let fear delay the reward of your endurance. Do not let doubt tie up what heaven has already loosed. You've come too far to freeze now. You've survived it too much to fold now. You've been too faithful to hesitate now. This is your divine activation point, and everything, I mean everything, is about to change when you say yes. This is the moment to declare. This is the moment to speak out loud what the enemy tried to keep buried inside you. Your words carry power. Your declarations break chains. Your agreement with God is the trigger that shifts atmospheres. Say it. I receive it. I step into it. I won't miss it. Say it like your bloodline depends on it, because it does. Say it like every locked door is about to break open, because it is. The wind of God is moving swiftly. This is a time-sensitive miracle. The angels are not standing still. They are in motion, and they are responding to faith. When you move, they move. When you declare, they fight. When you obey, they deliver. You are not alone in this activation. Heaven has surrounded you. Heaven is backing you. But it's your faith-filled movement that sets it all in motion. So move. Say yes. Pray boldly. Obey fully. Step forward like the miracle is already at your door, because it is. This is not the time to be polite with your future. This is not the hour to be passive with your assignment. This is your moment to rise like the giant you are, roar like the lion you were born to be, and claim what has been guarded on your behalf. Destiny is knocking. Not softly, not slowly, but with thunder. And it will not wait another moment. Type my yes is now in the comments if this is your moment of activation. Blessing code 2020 is unlocking divine acceleration over your life. Right now, in this very moment, there is movement in the invisible. The atmosphere around your life may appear quiet, but the heavens are anything but silent. There is a sacred exchange taking place, a divine transaction unfolding without noise, without public announcement, yet it is more powerful than any earthly event you've ever experienced. This is not imagination. This is not emotional hype. This is spiritual reality. You are in the middle of a silent war for a loud destiny, and the exchange is taking place even while you listen. You must understand the gravity of what's happening around you. While others sleep, heaven fights. While you worship in tears, heaven records. While you obey in silence, heaven moves with thunder. This is not the kind of transaction the world will understand. Because this is not a bank transfer, not a human contract. This is a heavenly handoff. Something has been retrieved on your behalf. Something has been held, protected, and preserved, and now it is being released. But it comes without fanfare. It comes without noise. Because holy things move in stillness. There are angels, thousands of them, moving with purpose. Archangel Michael, who has stood on guard, has not only defended your blessing, he is now overseeing its delivery. And what was once delayed is now in divine motion. Not because you shouted the loudest, not because you earned it, but because heaven saw your surrender, your hidden obedience, your whispered prayers that never made it to Instagram but echoed in eternity. While you thought nothing was happening, everything was shifting. The enemy tried to blind you to the exchange. He wanted you to believe the silence meant you were forgotten. He wanted you to think the delay was denial. But he didn't know. The silence was proof that the sacred was being released. And now, the Spirit of God is declaring, what was stolen is being returned. What was delayed is being delivered. What was hidden is being handed over. There has been a courtroom in heaven convened with your name on it. The scrolls were opened. The records reviewed. The promises recounted. The accusations dismissed. The delays measured. And the verdict declared, release the inheritance. Return what was stolen. Deliver what was promised. You didn't even know the case was still open. But heaven never forgets what it writes. Heaven never forgets what it seals. And now the judgment is in your favor. This is the hour of silent justice, of quiet victory. You may not feel it in your body yet, but your spirit knows. Something just shifted. Something heavy just moved in your favor. What couldn't move for years suddenly broke. What was locked away is now being released, and this time, It will not be stolen. It will not be intercepted. It will not be lost. This is the moment where faith must speak louder than fear, where you let your spirit rise in agreement with what heaven is doing, even if your natural eyes can't see it yet. Because faith is the bridge between the silent exchange and the visible manifestation. Heaven has already moved. The only question is, will you receive what has been handed over in the Spirit? The angels are moving quickly now. I, Archangel Michael, have been ordered to finish what was started. The guarding is over. The giving has begun. Let no fear interrupt it. Let no doubt delay it. Let no voice distract you from it. You are standing in the hour where heaven is delivering what hell tried to erase. And it will be undeniable. Type IT is transferred to me in the comments. Blessing code 3030 is releasing divine transactions in your favor. Justice is not delayed. It is divine. And when God releases it, nothing in hell or on earth can prevent it. What was taken from you, what was manipulated behind closed doors, what was whispered in the shadows, what was plotted in secret, heaven saw it all. Every betrayal, every lie, every stolen opportunity, every crooked setup was documented in the courts of the Most High. The scales of justice were not broken, they were waiting. And now, they are being tipped in your favor. The $1 million blessing was never just about wealth. It was about restoration, about making wrong things right, about balancing scales that have been unfair for far too long. You've wondered why the warfare was so deep, why the delays seemed endless, why the opposition rose up every time you got close. The answer is simple. What you carry threatens the systems of darkness. And those who tried to sabotage you weren't just fighting you. They were fighting what heaven assigned to you. But hear this clearly. God does not forget. He does not overlook injustice. He does not ignore betrayal. And he does not allow demonic interference to have the final word. There is now a divine reversal taking place. Those who sowed wickedness will reap the fruit of their hands. Those who mocked your prayers will witness your promotion. Those who tried to cancel your calling will be forced to watch your coronation. Because God does not let his chosen ones be humiliated without preparing a table in front of their enemies. The angels are moving, but this time, they are not just defending. They are recovering. They are retrieving what was illegally touched. They are reclaiming what was falsely claimed by others. There are blessings, real, tangible, financial, spiritual, generational blessings, that were diverted by demonic traffic, but they are now being routed back to the rightful owner. And that rightful owner is you. This is a divine reversal of fortune. A spiritual turnaround that shifts everything in your favor. The tables are turning. What was once denied is now being demanded. What was closed is now commanded to open. And the blessing that others tried to sabotage is now being multiplied as a reward for your faithfulness. I speak with authority as Archangel Michael. You are stepping into justice, not by man's decree, but by heaven's decision. The time of watching others take what belonged to you is over. The time of silence is done. Justice has spoken. There is repayment in motion. Sevenfold return for what was stolen. Restoration for the years the locusts devoured. Beauty for ashes. Love for mourning. Authority for humiliation. And this time, what God places in your hands cannot be stolen, slandered, or stopped. You are being vindicated in the spirit realm, and that vindication will manifest in the natural. It will be visible. It will be undeniable. It will be permanent. The Spirit of God is not just restoring what you lost. He is recompensing you for the loss itself. You are not just getting back what was taken. You are being rewarded for the delay, for the pain, for the pressure, for the warfare, for the weeding that only heaven recorded. This is the power of divine justice. It does not just even the score. It elevates the chosen. And now, the reversal has begun. You will no longer be last. You will no longer be hidden. You will no longer be the one watching others rise while you stay stuck. This is your appointed reversal. This is your prophetic compensation. This is your full circle moment. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments. Blessing code 9191 is commanding divine reversal and repayment to rush into your life. Now hear this final word, sealed by fire, covered in glory, and delivered under divine authority. You have not missed it. You have not been forgotten. You have not been left behind. What was guarded, what was withheld, what was preserved in the realm of glory has now been released. The $1 million blessing, both spiritual and tangible, is real. It is marked. It is yours. And it has been divinely protected by heaven's mightiest warrior until this exact moment. I, Archangel Michael, have stood guard. I have warred on your behalf. I have blocked access to those who were unworthy to carry what was designed for you. I have pushed back darkness. I have struck down the interference. And now, the guarding ceases, because the release has been authorized. You are not entering this next season empty-handed. You are walking into it clothed in favor, saturated in oil, and marked for manifestation. Let the voice of every old life fall silent now. Let the noise of every delay lose its grip. The warfare did not break you, it built you. The silence did not bury you, it refined you. The fire did not consume you, it confirmed you. You are sealed, chosen for such a time as this. You are seen, even when others ignored your potential. And now, you are sent, carrying a mantle that will shake systems and release rivers of blessing wherever your feet tread. Heaven is not asking for another delay. Heaven is not seeking another promise. Heaven is looking for your faith, your alignment, your surrender, your full agreement with what has already been written in the scrolls concerning you. And so we declare it now. The blessing is no longer delayed. The vault is no longer closed. The hour is no longer future. The time is now. Your name is echoing in places of favor. Your obedience has been marked with fire, and the inheritance is rushing toward you like a roaring river. Receive it. Hold it. Guard it. Walk in it. Multiply it. This is not a temporary miracle. This is a permanent shift. The wealth, the authority, the open doors, the favor, the restoration, it is sealed. This is your final confirmation, your final warning, your final release. Rise, chosen one. Move with fire. Speak with authority. Pray with power. Go forward with confidence. You are not stepping into possibility. You are stepping into prophecy. It is fulfilled. It is here. Now walk in it. Type "IT is finished" and fulfilled in the comments. Blessing code 1717 is completing this cycle and sealing your next chapter. As this word seals in your spirit, let your response echo through eternity. The scroll has been delivered, and the fire is flowing. But this prophetic flow doesn't stop here. When you give, through super thanks, through membership, or through our PayPal link in the video description, you become part of heaven's supply chain, helping carry this message of hope, fire, and alignment into souls across the globe. God said, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, and the first fruits of all your increase. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing." This is your chance to sow not just into a word, but into a mission of prophetic impact. Your giving becomes a spiritual agreement that says, "I honor what heaven is doing here." And when you honor the move, the oil honors you in return. Don't hold back. Respond in faith. Release what God is stirring in your hands, and watch the heavens pour out more than you have room to contain.